Hi everybody, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you very much for joining us. We start off quickly in the United States where Hurricane Michael made landfall, not as a Category 3 storm as forecast, but almost Category 5. Winds were at 250 kilometers an hour. There has been major storm surge and it's only just starting. It's moving now through Georgia, and later on it'll be quickly zipping through the Carolinas out to the east. That's the positive. It is moving faster, but it made landfall earlier than forecast, but was also much stronger than forecast. If you're interested in seeing some of the images that are coming out of the United States, you can go to our Twitter page at WeatherWatchNZ, and we're retweeting quite a lot from the US on that. Let's go to New Zealand now, and we've got our own system, but it's just a baby compared to what they've got overseas. This is a small low pressure system, but it's dredging up a fair bit of cold air, and that cold air is obviously bringing in snow, and at the weekend it's going to bring in some frosts as well. So let's explain what's happening. There's been a slight warming up, and I mean slight, for some places today. This is the Thursday departure from normal, Matt, and you can see it's cold still, colder than usual around a big portion of the South Island, but inland, not so bad because we've got that low offshore, and now there's some rain falling and warmer airflows are coming in around it. But look what happens on Friday. The true cold part of this system moves in. Temperatures really drop in the South Island, but also into the North Island as well. So this is Friday, and you can see that southerly. Now this is not coming off the Antarctic ice shelf. It's coming from a good way south though, and that's the reason why it's cold, but it is not directly coming off Antarctica. That means snow won't be falling to sea level, but it will still fall down to 100 or 200 meters as we saw yesterday. So that's still possible again on Friday with the main cold surge coming in. Can't rule out an isolated flurry getting very low down towards sea level. Nothing will settle at that level, I don't think. It's too warm. But further up into the mountains, could be another 30, 40 or 50 centimeters of snow, and then later on at night time it moves into the North Island. So snowfall totals look like this. This is Friday itself. You can see the snow really heavy through the mountains. There could be 30 or 40 centimeters. And a similar story, this is the nighttime, Friday night. Again, heavy snow right up towards the Kaikoura coastline, very close to Dunedin as well. So it is a pretty cold Friday. Let's get into Saturday now, and it is a cold day for the North Island, the coldest day of the week, in fact. And this is when snow flurries are possible along the mountains and ranges along the east. And if you've got newborn stock, just be aware it'll be a pretty cold day, although hopefully they're a little bit older and tougher now and can cope with the cold, wet southeasterly. The weather clears up in the South Island for the most part. There'll be a few showers around Southland though. But look what happens on Sunday. Look at this massive high pressure system. This is with us for all of next week. It's going to be parked out in the Tasman Sea for most of that time. Eventually we think it will cross New Zealand. It's going to make for a drier than usual week next week, but it's also going to bring in some big frosts over the weekend. So be aware of that around central Otago and other inland areas. So on Sunday, it's a little hard to see, but we've still got a few showers lingering around the eastern side of the North Island, and maybe one or two might come through Cook Strait and end up affecting Northland. Then we get to Monday, and that high firmly in charge around the place. Winds are pretty light, but they're still coming in from the southerly quarter, so it'll still be a little cool. And as I say, this is likely to linger for much of next week. There could be a few showers that come in and off and on around Southland and the west coast. The winds might come and go a little bit from the south to southwest. Otherwise, next week is dominated by that high. So we'll update you again on Friday with a longer outlook for next week. That's all from me for today though.